Boom. Hey internets. Sheila Denise asked me a really good question, and her question is, where do buyers go to find designers, especially if they're just a small store just opening up? So this is on a string of videos where I believe I was talking about trade show. In any case, I want to touch on that just a little bit. So I've done several videos giving you guys advice not to go to a trade show. It's not a step that you should do early on. This is not the way that you're gonna find retailers for your brand. Very much so, I have a very big an urgent push for you guys. If you're gonna launch a brand now, it's synonymous with definitely opening up an e-commerce store. So having like a Shopify account or Big Cartel, however you want to start selling a garment. Maybe you're just selling one garment, and so there's numerous ways where you could just sell one product. But eventually, when you start getting the big boy, big girl numbers, you want to probably graduate to Shopify. And so having your own e-commerce, in other words, being your own online retailer, is a huge part of the game. And I talk about that for many reasons, but let me just share. The biggest one is you keep all the margin, okay? So when you're selling wholesale, you're going to cut that price in half, okay? And then they're going to keystone or double that price that you sell. Give you an example. So at Orisu, when I was the creative director there, we sold shirts wholesale for $12. The retail will then sell that for anywhere from $26 to $28. Some of them might try to go higher, knowing though that the other retail is going to average at about $28. So you might be selling the same actual garment for more, which is going to price you out a little bit, especially in this day and age where people can just check online. You got to sell your own stuff. So you should be one of your biggest retailers. I've said before, if you can make it so that over 60% of your sales is on your direct online, that's an amazing, amazing situation. So if you're in love with the idea of being in retail, maybe the shopping experience, is still something that's super compelling to you, and maybe it's like the reason you get into fashion. And this is more so the case, I would say, like 10 years ago, and it's changing now as people's buying patterns are different via everything online. You can still have that. I'm just saying you should very much switch the portion at which you're concentrating on that in terms of income for your company and moving your product, okay? So Sheila, where do new shops find brands? My first answer, like immediately, is the same way that you discover brands. The same way that you shop is the way that they shop for their retail. So they find it online. The same way you guys found me for this information, they find it online. So online, anyone from around the world can convene and talk about the specifics and a niche inside of a niche of not just fashion, but anything, obviously. So if you're into Harajuku, Tokyo streetwear, like that's your specific thing, and you live in Africa, you could get up in there and just convene with people online. So whatever your style, taste, your liking, whatever that is, you can find all of that online. Most of the research that we'll do in art departments in terms of trending will be online. One, because it's quick, there's no cost to it, and it literally reaches around the world, which is the way people are experiencing anyway. So you don't want to have a limited view. If an art department has budget, trust, I'm taking us to New York or whatever we have a budget for. Even if I'm here in California, if we can take a quick trip to San Francisco, which I did before 2 companies ago, we had a meager budget. So I said, hey, let's get out, let's go into somewhere urban, a little bit more different, where there's a lot of different active lifestyles. That's important, but you can get all of your trending done online. That's why a lot of retailers look for new product, because they have the advantage of being up on something that is completely small and on the other side of the world. So that's the way they do it. Now, trade show, still a good place to go to meet, to network. I'm a huge fan of that. I'm just not a huge fan of you committing $8,000, $10,000, $6,000 on a show when your business really doesn't need you or really doesn't have the budget for you to spend that kind of money for 3 days in Vegas. Now, spending the money on a ticket to network, meet buyers and retailers and other brands, other sales reps, other people who are in the space. That's smart. That's really smart. And who knows? You can make a connection there. So the trade show still is a place where people find new fashions, but mainly online. You know, boutique owners that have opened within the last 5 years, ask one of them, where do you guys go to find new brands? A lot of them are finding it online, okay? And all the other things that I mentioned as well in the video. So any other questions, any other thoughts, things that might have sparked another question for you as you're listening to this, drop it all down below. I'll make a video on it. We can talk about it. Follow me on social media when you get a chance. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.